The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org. All right, it is 11 o'clock here in Dallas, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. Welcome, everybody, both of you, those of you virtually and those of you here in person. My name is Tony Hansen, and as of about 2 seconds ago, I think I became the new president of the Dallas Genealogical Society. Yay! We have some old business to take care of, first of all. We do need to hear if there are any changes or amendments to the previous meeting's minutes, which was our May 6th meeting. They've been available on the website. So any corrections or additions to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, those will stand as posted. Our secretary has posted the financial results. Financially, we're in pretty good shape. Our cash flow is working out real well. We've got 24,000 some odd in our checking account. We're holding 107,000 in our savings account. And then we have an investment account that we're working with as well through our financial committee of about $47,000. So financially, we're in great shape. And thanks to all of you who help financially support us. We do appreciate that. So we have a new board. I'm officially now the president. Sharon Bowles is our vice president. Terry Turner is our secretary. And Jim Thornhill is our immediate past president. And that's the way that the board stands as of this moment. We're going to have a very quick board meeting following the general meeting today, and we're going to make some changes. We're going to appoint Susan Rainwater as our director of finance, and we're going to fire Jim Thornhill as immediate past president and immediately appoint him as our director of information technology because we needed to fill that position. And then we'll appoint Todd Dedecker, who's going to stand again in as our immediate past president, and that will be our executive committee going forward. We have lined up the rest of the directors team as well. So Kim Edge is going to remain as our director of membership. Patty Smith is our director of marketing and our general meeting administrator, filling 2 positions. So thank you, Patty. Barbara Coakley is continuing as our director of volunteer coordination. Brenda Cannon is our seminar administrator. Todd Dedecker is also our website administrator, doing 2 jobs. And Michelle Cohen is our newsletter administrator. And new to the board this year and new to the organization is Gus Hinojosa. Gus has agreed to accept a position as our director of large. That is a position that we created when we wrote the standing or the STAR bylaws, if you will. The intent here is we want to bring in somebody from outside the organization to try to give us a little broader perspective and help us see how we might consider doing things a bit differently. So we're very excited about having Gus. Gus is quite excited about being involved as well. So I'm looking forward to working with him and to the entire leadership team. I do want to thank a couple of people very specifically. Jim Thornhill is stepping down after 2 years of president. So demanding and challenging job. So Jim, we appreciate all the hard work you've done on our behalf. And I'm grateful that you've agreed to continue in a leadership position. So thank you for that. And we are also kind of losing Ann Breuer. She is stepping down as secretary, although she couldn't quite escape today. She's filling in for Terry, who was out of the country. But she is leaving the board, but she is remaining with the organization and still running our German genealogy group along with Bernard Meisner. So it's encouraging to see people stay involved even though they don't have to. And I'm grateful to everybody who volunteers and helps make this organization what it is. So thank you all very much. Little pointer. Todd, you may need to take over for me. There we go. Okay, so one of the things that we do need to do is to approve a new budget. The board did meet over the summer and we did create a new budget, and this is what it is proposed. So at this point, Todd, let's go ahead and run the survey. We need to see if we have 21 members virtually and here in the room. So if I can just see it by show of hands, how many of you are members of the Dallas Genealogical Society? Okay, we've got 9 there, 10, 11. Well, okay, I've got 12 in the room. And so those of you virtually, if you would just indicate whether you are or are not a member of the society, we'll see if we got enough people to conduct some business here. Oh, and I forgot Betty in the room, so we'll pull her in here. So 13 here. So we'll just let that stand and let people vote. So at least you can see over there on the expense side, what we've done with the budget is we've just about got our income and our expenses equaled out. So we're projecting a little more income than expenses. So we should be able to balance things out. Typically, we are conservative in our estimation of what we're going to get for our income from our 3 seminars. So we have a pretty good income from that. So time for the reading glasses. 85% doesn't tell me anything. Todd, can you tell me a number of how
Yeah,
many?
we have 23.
Awesome. We have a quorum. Okay, you can
Yep.
close that out. Make Todd do all the work up there. They don't let me touch anything at the podium. Okay, so Todd, if you'd go to the next screen for me. Okay, so there's a blow up of our income that hopefully you can read a little bit better. You can see primarily our biggest source of income is our seminars. That's where the projected $18,000 comes from. A lot of our income is membership dues and then a variety of other things as well. One thing I want to point out too, we get a pretty big chunk of change in indirect contributions through a program known as Benevity, something that Microsoft runs as their volunteers post volunteer time for organizations like ours. They can turn that into the company tracks it. And at the end of the year, they write us a very generous check. So you might think that we have a lot of Microsoft employees here, but we don't. We have one. It is Mr. Todd Dedecker up there. And because of him, we get a fairly significant check from Microsoft every year. So we're very grateful for that. Next page. And so there are our expenses. Variety of things there. The two at the bottom, I'll draw your attention to. We do have budget in there about 12,000 and some change for us to make donations to in support of the Dallas Public Library. That's where the largest chunk of our expenses go to. You're welcome. All right, so with this, I would ask for those of you on Zoom and those of you here by voice vote, I need first of all a motion and a second to approve the budget. So if I could have a motion, Gene Larson is motioning. Okay, Patty Smith is seconding. All right, so again, just with the voice vote, can I have all in favor of the new budget as presented?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'll give the naysayers a chance. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, it stands as submitted. Thank you very much. Okay, Todd. One more. All right, so perhaps you've heard of this. I hope you have by now. You're probably getting a lot of mail and a lot of signage on North Texas Giving Day, and we, like a lot of organizations, are participating in that this year as well. Next slide. So we have been supporting, and through this year's North Texas Giving Day, are trying to support again two things on behalf of the Dallas Public Library. We have been paying and are raising funds again this year to support the cost of providing access to History Geo to people who visit the library and who have access through their library card. Todd? And we're also doing the same thing for Newspaper Archive. And so this is something we have been doing and not necessarily cheaply. Next slide. So it costs a fair amount of money. So we're trying to raise $6,500, which is about what we project it's going to cost to continue providing support for both of these great resources for people to hear accessing the library. So we've already started. We didn't wait for North Texas Giving Day to begin. We've had a campaign prior to this, and many of our members have made very generous donations already. So we've raised $865 already towards our goal. And what we've elected to do is use that as matching funds. That's something that we're advised by the people that run North Texas Giving Day. Makes this a little more attractive when people go to look for organizations to donate to. A lot of people just say, well, I want to find somebody that's going to match my money and make money go further. And we hope that that will work for you as well. So if you go to donate now, you will see that we're doing a dollar for dollar match as long as we have those funds there. And I hope that you will and will donate generously. There we go. So early giving has started. North Texas Giving Day was a day, and then it was a week, and now it's about a 2.5 week event. So it's been going on, and you have an opportunity to go and donate right now. Again, we'd appreciate it very much if you would. You should have received some email, I think, on Thursday afternoon. So if you go back and check that, there is a donate button there. There is also a button on the website somewhere, and we'll make that a little more prominent than I think it is as of this morning, but we'll get it out there. There is a North Texas Giving Day webpage that you can go and find the button as well. Question? Yeah, so the question was, is there an advantage to going through the North Texas Giving Day website rather than going directly and donating through the thing? Yes, there's definitely advantage, because one of the things that they do for North Texas Giving Day is they have what they call a match program. Many corporations will donate money directly to the community's foundation that runs this and just, here, you do something with this money. And what they choose to do is they will divvy that out based on the percentage of donations you receive. Typically for us, that works out to just about pay the credit card fees on the transactions. So when you donate, you can either say, I want to donate $50, but I don't want to pay the credit card fees, which means we lose that 5 or 6%. that extra bonus match usually makes that up. So yeah, it's very much to our advantage to have people donate through the North Texas Giving Day website. We prefer that you do that. We're also going to be doing something on North Texas Giving Day on September 21st. That is the official day. And we're going to be holding that here at the library up on the 8th floor from 1 to 4 p.m. And what we have set up is a program. We're going to have people come in. We're going to sit down and do a very quick, 2 or 3, 4 generation family tree with them to kind of help them get started and excited about researching the family. We're going to have volunteers here that will then demonstrate what newspaper archive has about their family or what History Geo can find about their family. And then we're going to have some giveaways too. We got some door prizes that have been donated. So we've got a fairly large group of people that have volunteered for that, but would just love to see even more. Come on up and join us and join in on the fun, and hopefully be kind of a nice festive afternoon at the library. So again, that's the 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. The board's been active over the summer. In addition to doing the budget, we did meet and we had a planning conference, and we've actually come up with some pretty interesting things. So you see some things are going to start changing a little bit. So I believe next month, aren't we meeting up on the 8th floor? Yes. Okay. So we're going to be holding our general meeting up on the 8th floor next week to celebrate Family History Month up there. And next year, I believe starting in January, we're going to have a series of meetings up on the 7th floor in the O'Hara room. We feel that there's just some advantages to be had being up there, fewer steps, a little brighter, some tables where you can put your notes and your laptops and what have you. So we're going to try a series of meetings up there and just see how that works. So, that was one of the many things that we talked about, and you're going to see some more changes from the board as the year goes out. So we're off to an exciting start, and we're looking forward to a really fun year. I mentioned the very many people that we already have filling board positions, but we still have a couple of opportunities to get involved if you would like to. And I'd just like to run through those real quickly. So one position we have, this is a full voting member of the board, is our Director of Publication Content. And the primary purpose of this position is to help the newsletter editor acquire material for each of our newsletters. We put out 10 issues each year, and sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to get people to submit stuff. So that's one of the prime purposes of this position, is just to kind of encourage people and help get some articles for the newsletter. But it's also responsible for, in a broader sense, for kind of overseeing our whole social media content. So making sure that we're consistent in our look and feel on our website, the things that we're doing, that Patty Smith is doing on our social media and Facebook and what have you, kind of being the overseer and making sure that we have a consistent look and feel and a constant message in all the things that we're putting out. So if you are at all interested in this position, we would love to talk to you. And so you can contact me or any board member if you have the slightest bit of interest. So please do. Got a couple of other places that are a little bit less burdensome, I guess you'd say. We'd like to have positions filled for our Texas State Genealogical Society delegate. Now, your responsibility for there primarily is to attend the 2 annual meetings that the Texas State Genealogical Society has. These are where the society basically presents their budget, their plans, and reviews things that they're doing. And as a society delegate, you would just be representing the Dallas Genealogical Society at those meetings and voting on any issues that come up there. You would also have a hand in preparing a quarterly update about the society's activities. This would be something I would work with you on. It gets submitted into the state society and published in their quarterly publication, Sturpies. So again, you just kind of are our liaison between our society and the Texas State Society. So again, particularly, preferably if you're already a member of the Texas State Society, this would be an ideal thing for you to do. So any Texas State Society members that have an interest, let me know. Similar thing with the National Genealogical Society. We have a position there that is the society delegate. They're doing a lot more since NGS and FGS merged. They have stepped up and are doing a lot more things focused on society activities. And so again, in this position, you would be attending any of the meetings they have and participating in the events that they have and being the coordinate and the liaison between our society and the National Society. So again, this, is just, every month or two, something comes up, not a real high velocity position, but a very important one that we'd like to have somebody step in and fill for us. Hopefully, you're all aware that we're having a seminar in 2 weeks. We're going to have on September 23rd, and we've got Michael Strauss here talking about military history. And so you still got a couple of weeks to sign up and join us for that. Again, a virtual hybrid event, so you can join us here at the library, or you can join on Zoom, your choice. But we still have seats available, so if you're interested, please register for that. The Texas State Society is going to be having their annual conference in October. Why am I bragging about them? Well, because they've set up a program where if you register and use a registration code of DGS, we'll get a $10 donation. So if you're thinking about attending the state conference, we just ask that as you register, you do that little thing for us, and we'll get a little bit of money from them at the close of the conference. So remember your society when you register for that. The Texas State Society do have an annual competition and a variety of things. They got writing contests. They have a newsletter contest, which we have entered. They have a contest for society websites, which we've entered. And we've also submitted this year's Volunteer of the Year for our society, Michelle Cohen, to them for their Volunteer of the Year position. So fingers crossed in all those competitions. They will announce the results in December. So we'll hope for good things from that. One of the things that we identified while we were going through our planning process is that we needed to do a better job of identifying and kind of correlating our volunteers and our volunteer positions. So we've done this a lot of different ways, and none of them really seem to work. And so we've created this. I call it our volunteer information program. It's an online tool now that we can use as we contact people, say, yeah, I might be interested in doing this, tracking what their skill sets are. When we're looking for skill sets, we can go see who knows Neon or who knows spreadsheets or what have you. And hopefully it's going to allow us to better match our volunteers with the needs of the organization. And one of the things I just would also like to do is just kind of highlight some of the people who kind of work a little bit behind the scenes. And so this volunteer I've highlighted today is Joanne Graham. She has been working since 2022 on the newsletter committee. So not a real high visibility thing. Many of you perhaps have never even heard of her, but she's been a very valuable contributor to that organization and has helped put out a real high quality newsletter. She is the person responsible for listing the research interest for our new members that gets published in every issue of our newsletter, and has been working really closely with Michelle and the other members on the team, and has just done a really great job for us. So like I said, she's not somebody you're going to see standing up here at a meeting or here speaking, but just one of the many people who helps us as an organization do all of the very many things that we do. So we value her and all of the many volunteers that help make things happen. It looks easy, it looks seamless. It isn't. There's a lot of people that make stuff happen, and so we value all of them. Many of those people run special interest groups, and so hopefully you are aware that we have a variety of special interest groups that meet throughout the month, and we have information about them on the webpage. So if you go to our calendar, and you'll see a special interest group link on there, and that will show you the activities of all the groups throughout the year, so you can see who's running, what's scheduled, and what they're going to be doing. And in particular, click, there we go. This afternoon, the German Genealogy group is going to be meeting here at the library and virtually as well. Most of our groups are hybrid as well. And from 1:30 to 2:30, 1:30 to 3:30, they're going to be talking about using German genealogy societies and special interest groups to break through your brick wall. So Bernard and Anne are going to be running that. And if you have the least bit of interest in German genealogy, please join them. And again, you can go to our website and find links to their meeting. Next month, we're going to be meeting upstairs, and our new board member, Gus Hinojosa, is going to be speaking to us up there on a topic that will be arranged real soon. We're still working with him and negotiating just what we want that to be. But hopefully we'll see you upstairs and have a really interesting meeting there. And with that, I'm going to get to what I'm sure all you are really here for, is to hear from Sue Kaufman. So I'm going to ask our vice president in charge of this stuff to come up and introduce her and to introduce Sue. And Sue, meanwhile, we'll quit sharing and let you share your stuff so we are ready for it. This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. Your fees have been supporting these and other society activities. If you're not yet a member, please consider joining now. Go to dallasgenealogy.org and click on the membership tab.